We are live. Ha ha! It's my tuck. Hey, everybody, I'm Ashley Baptiste with Conferences Connect and Utility Events. And I am so excited to get to introduce my friend and fabulous just person, Lauren Montgomery. She is the Principal Program Manager of Business Change at National Grid, and she is our Meet the Speaker profile today. Say hi, Lauren.
Hi.
We're so excited to get to feature you. So Lauren is going to speak as she's a featured presenter at our upcoming Change Management Skills Session and Mastermind. So these are the kind of virtual events that we do in between our utility change conferences, just to kind of keep the conversation going, keep everybody learning, keep everybody on the same page in terms of talking about utility change management, and not just utilities, just change management in general, and just keeping up the skill set and the conversation, really. So I just want to thank Lauren, first of all, for joining us today, and for really donating her knowledge and experience to our next change management skill session and mastermind. So I'm going to shut up for a second. I'm going to ask Lauren, hey, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Sure. So hi, I'm Lauren. I am a change lead on a billing conversion project at National Grid. So National Grid is across the northeastern United States. We have gas and electric service in Massachusetts and in parts of New York, upstate, and parts of the city. Right now, we have two very old customer information systems, and we are consolidating from two down to one. So I'm handling the change management, communications, engagement, partnering with training and marketing to ensure a smooth transition. And we are going live in 30 days.
Oh my gosh. And she's speaking in her thing on the 22nd. That's nuts. So cool. Well, thank you for telling us about that. And I think anybody in almost any industry, but particularly in utilities, are probably facing similar types of technology projects, right? You've got old systems that are so old, you need to get them more updated before you can. Ooh, I froze. That was neat. Before you can really, and everybody has to use that still in the meantime, right? So there's this transition period. Oh, I'm freezing again. That's cool. Tell us a little bit about what one of your biggest challenges has been in your project so far.
So the biggest challenge, I'd say, this is a fairly large company, and we're spread across multiple jurisdictions, and trying to reach our stakeholders who are impacted by this, because it's not just employees in the office. We're converting 2.5 million gas customers from one system to another. That means our gas systems are going down. But to move them into the new platform, all of our systems have to go down, including the electric system, over a 4-day weekend. We're going live Memorial Day weekend. And we need to make sure that internally, all of our employees really understand why we're doing this. They understand the benefits for the company, for them as employees, for our customers, that they understand how things are going to change, and that we're also communicating this, effectively to our customers. But having such a large service territory to spread this message, when you have some people working in the office, you've got some people out in the field, some at home, I'd say like the geography in how do we get this message out to people and make sure that they really understand has been probably the biggest challenge.
Got it. I get it. Well, I love the topic that you're going to be speaking out on. So just for folks to know, it's Tuesday, May 21st from noon to 1:30 Eastern time. As what I said, it's called the Change Management Skills Session and Mastermind. And the topic that Lauren will be discussing is how to maximize engagement and drive successful change initiatives, even with limited resources. Can you tell us a little bit about the topic and maybe even more importantly, the even with limited resources part?
Yeah, so, I'd say anyone who works in change, probably knows that we don't always get the big budgets. We tend to be the forgotten piece until it's, "Oops, we need change management, let's bring them in." But usually by the time we get brought in, the budget's already set and there's not a ton of money to spend on engaging people. So how do you do that? That's the biggest challenge that we've had is dealing with this hybrid workforce, right? People in the field, people in office, at home. We need to get this message to them. We need to get them on board, right? They need to support this. They need to be really ambassadors because every employee could interact with a customer. You could interact with them in the grocery store or on the side of a soccer field. And we really want to make sure everyone understands what we're doing and why. I think the why is the biggest driver. But doing that without really having a large budget can be challenging. So we've gotten very creative here at National Grid, and thinking about the budget that we do have. How do we maximize it to its fullest potential, and what can we do that's not really expensive that still gets people excited and gets them really hearing the message that we're trying to send.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a company out there right now that says, "Oh, we have excess money, we can just pour into anything we need," right? Everybody's looking for ways to not necessarily cut back, but just see if there are some creative things that they can do to bring or keep costs down. So that's why I'm particularly excited about your presentation on the 21st, because I think for sure you are not alone, right? You have
Mhm.
you're a utility that has big projects going on and not necessarily massive budgets to make that happen in. So I think a lot of folks, if you are in change management or if you're in a utility or if you're just in the process of big projects, you could probably pick up quite a few tips here. So tell us just a little bit, just give us a taste of what you're going to talk about on the skill session.
All right. So the biggest spoiler alert
Ooh.
is people are competitive. So we have found that anything you can do to drive friendly, healthy, work appropriate
Mm.
competition, sometimes the bragging rights go farther than an actual prize. And when we've decided that we really do want to incentivize with a prize, we've done some surveying to understand like what do people want? Do they want the Amazon gift card? Um, Time with senior leadership seems to be the most coveted of all the prizes and doesn't cost anything. It's just a matter of getting on their calendar, getting them to come to a coffee or a lunch, something very, very easy and simple. So um, I'd say that's probably one of the biggest things we'll be talking about is what can you do that doesn't cost anything? And some of what we've found that costs nothing is what people want the most.
That's
But
awesome. That's
yeah, they wanna
fantastic.
see their name at the top of the leaderboard, definitely not
Yeah,
at the bottom.
I get it. No, I think it's interesting because I was reading something recently about employee engagement right now. And however much of that has to do with our sort of current hybrid, mostly hybrid situation, but even folks who are in the office, it's like maybe 60 to 65% of our workforce right now will self-report themselves as not that engaged. And I
Mhm.
think it's a good wake-up call for all of us to figure out, okay, how do you put a change program through, right? How do you do a change project when you know that maybe two-thirds of your employees aren't really paying that much attention or they're not that engaged? So like what are, and I love that you're going to be sharing some of the insights and experience that you've had from this project so far. So really exciting. Um, Tell us a little bit more about your background and like how did you get into change management?
So, I was I was brought onto a project several years ago, because I worked in a training capacity, and I was told, "We don't really know what we need you to do, but we know we need you to do something. So after about 6 months on this project, we reached a massive milestone, and all of our senior leadership, the entire C-suite, all of the vice presidents are sitting in a room together, and here I am, the frontline supervisor, the only one in the room, felt like I didn't belong at all, was afraid to speak up. And when we reached this milestone, no one even cracked a smile. It was, here's the decision, here's where we are, we've reached the milestone. Okay, who has questions on the data, how we got here? Do you want to see any, specific formulas? And I couldn't take it. So I stood up and I said, can we stop? And I think we need to just take 1 minute and just celebrate this success. We just 1 minute and recognize how far we've come. I got pulled aside afterwards and said, okay, so you're the new change management lead. And I said, what's change management? I'd never heard of it before. So, I was put through pro side classes and realized that I had been doing change management for my entire career. We just didn't call it that. But I had been dealing with navigating myself through change and helping to lead others through change, really in a variety of industries for my entire career. And then I worked in the training and coaching space, but a lot of coaching is really, you're coaching people to change their behavior. So there's a really strong tie-in with training, with coaching, and with change management. So once someone actually explained to me what it was, I realized, wow, okay, this is just what I do, and I've been doing it forever.
I
And
love it.
I love it. I like helping to bring people along on that change journey.
It's so nice. I know from as a professional, I would assume you were happy to say, oh, this is what I do. Like now it
Yes,
has a name, right?
finally give a name to what you do.
Oh, I'm a change management person. Okay. That's awesome. Hey, tell me a little bit about, so this is coming up. It's Tuesday, May 21st. It's at noon Eastern time. And here's what we do. I'll just give folks a little bit of the structure here. It's a 90-minute session. Lauren's going to speak for about 45 minutes about the project that she's been working on. She's going to offer some tips that she alluded to on this live about ways that you can keep people engaged that don't necessarily have to cost money, which is
I'll throw
awesome.
some new ones in there too.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. So, and then with the balance of the time, it's really an opportunity for change management folks and process excellence folks just to talk to each other. I mean, it's sort of an opportunity for benchmarking and community building, to be in a conversation with other people, because I've found, and I don't know about you, but I find a lot of change management folks in large organizations feel a little lonely. Like you're one person working on a project where you may have other folks scattered throughout the organization, but you don't get to get together and talk about, hey, this is what we're working on, or these are the challenges I'm having. So to be able to do that and have that benchmarking conversation with other change professionals from other companies, I think from what we're finding, seems to be a really helpful for a lot of folks. So yeah, thoughts, discuss. All good.
No, I absolutely love it. It's nice to come together with other people who do what I do and understand my struggles. And it's nice because this group is so willing to share experiences. And I tried this and it didn't work. It's not just touting our success, but what have we tried that didn't work?
Yes.
It's nice to have a group that will come together and talk about our failures and our opportunities, as well as those really great successes.
Absolutely. And that's really what we drive to deliver for folks. So if you are in change management, or if you're not sure what change management is, or if you have folks in your organization who are eager to learn more, Please join us on May 21st at noon Eastern Time so you can hear Lauren's presentation about how to maximize engagement and drive successful change initiatives, even with limited resources. And we're excited that she's going to be there to talk about that. And just thank you so much, Lauren, for joining us today. We look forward to
Thank
seeing
you. Nice to
Have a
see you
great
guys.
rest of your day.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. How do I stop?